She's off. We're just about to start. Well, ladies and gentlemen, first to a partnership who have proved just how dangerous they can be after knocking out some of the biggest names on the world stage. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2016 World Indoor Pairs finalists, it's Scotland's very own Ronnie Duncan and Colin Walker. And this partnership is now in its 7th year, and they've finally cracked it when they won this title in true style 2 years ago. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2016 World Indoor Pairs champions, Stewart and Darren Burnett. Commentators for this match is Janice Gower and Alan Thornhill. Over to you, Janice.
Thank you for that, Richard. Yes, we're in for an exciting game here at the Just World Indoor Bowls Championships 2018, hosted by Potters Resort. And this is a repeat of the 2016 final, which was a humdinger of a game. Darren Burnett and Stewart Anderson, the boys in red, won it on that occasion. Now, Ronnie, Duncan and Colin Walker, class acts, and I'm absolutely delighted. Hot-footing it, having travelled over last night, done a game of marking this morning. Head of the WBT umpires, Alan Thornhill, has joined me in commentary. Welcome to commentary, Alan.
Thank you, Janice. It's all go this morning.
It is a bit. It was yesterday as well. It was all a bit hectic. And as Alan's with us, as we always say, once we get the feed through here for questions on Facebook, do any umpiring questions, throw them Alan's way, please, and we'll try and get them answered for you.
Good, mate. Well done. The far?
Oh, you're only a foot.
Yeah, Stewart Anderson just dropping slightly short again.
Alright. Okay. Open one. Ronnie's about 18 inches past.
Of course, the joys of the pairs here, the players are mic'd up, so we do get a little bit of banter back, find out what sort of shots they're thinking of playing. All 4 of these players, very experienced players. I actually was at the Falkirk venue when Colin Walker and Ronnie Duncan qualified, and I can honestly say, you now know, folks, how much bowls I watch over the years. I have never seen anybody lead in pairs the way that Ronnie Duncan led that day. He was outstanding.
Come on. Come on, up, yeah.
Commentator's curse, he's just played that under the line.
Two right.
Had Trenton Healy in with me for the first game this morning, Alan, that you were marking, and he was certainly singing the praises of not only the Potters Resort and the facilities here, but also your team and how good they are. And he mentioned the fact that yourself and Dan were tripping over to Australia for the Commonwealth Games.
Yes, that's right. Janice was very kind of him to sing some praises. It's nice to hear. Of course, we've got a world-class venue here at Potter's Leisure Resort. But yes, Dan Blewett and himself will be travelling to the Gold Coast in April for the Commonwealth Games.
Maybe attack that,
Looking
mate.
forward to that immensely.
That's a good connection. Chance of the 2 balls, ball into the jacks, good.
There you go. Ronnie just calling the shots. 2 bowls through. Colin's very good at these runners. Close to something. Yeah, got a result from that. Not what they called, but it was in the area.
Certainly anything will happen at that pace. Certainly got the result.
Of course, in the previous game, there was a 5 scored at the first end, which made a huge difference to the score line of the first set. The Cumbrian boys played very well, but they just missed out. The winner of this game gets to face Greg Harlow and Nick Brett tomorrow afternoon. There's been some cracking bowls played already, and we're only into day 2 on the portable rink. Just trotting after this. Darren likes it, but he's urging it on. I think it's going to pull up short. It might just get in front of the green bowl.
It's not great, but just try it, slap it out.
Yeah, just try and drift round it, mate.
Just the draw now from Colin.
Quick, mate.
Yeah. Sorry. Finished. Half a chance. Yep. One shot, Duncan and Walker.
All 4 of these players were part of the Scotland elite squad that were practicing to go out to the Commonwealth Games. 2 of them fortunate, 2 of them not so fortunate. One from each side, Alan, from your little etchings down there.
Yes, yeah, 1 green, 1 red. So Darren, Burnett, Ronnie, Duncan, both representing both Scotland at the Commonwealth Games in April on the Gold Coast.
Of course, Darren's defending singles title champion in the Commonwealth Games.
That's right, very strong squad.
Come on, Ronnie. Right up. Right up now. Good start.
Half a ball to you.
2 very successful pairings. Ronnie and Colin have played together for lots of years. They know each other's games inside out.
Right round there. Draw it. Right round there. Very good, pal.
Go on, Ronnie. Come on. No, wait here. Come on, Ronnie, boy. Bang
On
now.
a good track again here.
Great ball.
Hold on there.
We've had all sorts of things happen here, Alan, so far this week. We've had 6s scored in the pairs that we haven't had before, and we've had another split jack. It's all been going on, I tell you. I missed that by 5 minutes. Apparently I just walked away from the end of the rink where it happened and I just missed it.
2 days in and we've got drama already, Janice. What's going on?
I know.
In and off of there, you get any connection, the jack should spread.
That means that there's some good bowls being played as well. Here we see Stewart Anderson's bowl just tucks the jack.
It's an interesting format, this, Janice, with 3 bowls per player now. I was talking to the players on the rink in the game this morning, and they believe there's more interaction between the players now that they've got 3 bowls. It's a much quicker game when it was just 2 bowl pairs. There seems to be a lot more discussion, a lot more tactical play.
Yeah, I think it's made for a better game all round. That seems to be the positive feedback we're getting back. Of course, the sort of downside to that is it was the first game yesterday, went for 2.5 hours. So they are longer games. We used to be able to time things to sort of an hour and a half. But it has made for better games, and different shots are played rather than just a drawing game of the 2 bowl pairs.
That's right, and of course in pairs we don't use the shot clock as we do in singles, so the play isn't as quick, but I think it would be a detrimental move to put the shot clock into pairs, because the interaction is what the crowd want to see. They want to see the shot choices and the interaction between the players. Adds to the game.
Yeah, the players are all mic'd up. I knew there was a few technical gremlins yesterday with some of the mics. We often have that in the first day of play, but you get to hear what the players are contemplating playing, the discussions that go on. She's only been in here 2 minutes and he's breaking the equipment, Mr. Thornhill.
Destroying the place.
It's all right, I can't talk. The boys behind me would tell you that I had a bit of an incident with the television screen the other day. I got told off.
Yes, I heard you cut the power to everything.
Keep the backhand. Darren's last ball.
Just wanted to move it slightly and it all sort of fell apart.
Well, if you're following this game on Facebook Live, on the World Bowls Tour Facebook page, welcome. Give us a shout out wherever you are in the world. Somebody from South Africa, Cape Town, South Africa watching. Also a quick shout out to Ray Keane, one of our colleagues that is also travelling to the Commonwealth Games as an official, and of course the other English official that's going is Angie Watkins.
Well, that was one of those where he looked under the line and then it got back. Yeah, Ray Keane had the pleasure of working with at the Special Olympics back in August of last year. Good umpire, good man. I'd like to think they were all listening in, Alan.
Maybe too early in the day for some of them.
The other thing on a Saturday, there's nationals and inter-county events that some of them will be away watching, but hopefully you can tune in when you can today. We have another 2 games at 2 o'clock this afternoon, and then tonight is the annual World Bowls Tour Awards night. Everybody gets to put on their posh frocks and kind of for the players it's a bit of a relaxing night, Alan. They get a night off, including the umpires get a night off, sit there with a glass of wine or a glass of water, of course, if you're working tomorrow.
Of course, very professional. We only drink water.
6 scores, 0-2 after 2 innings.
Well, as expected, this is going to be a tight game. 7 end sets. It's not like the singles where we play 9 end sets. Because we've got the extra bowl in the pairs, we made it 7 end sets. What you don't want to do is drop a count early on.
28.5 metres.
2-0 to Duncan and Walker. can't stay with us, you'll pick up all the news and results on worldbowlstour.tv. Follow us at WBT_TV on Twitter, and of course, hopefully you're watching us on Facebook Live.
Finish out. Come on, pal. Do it again.
All right. Back now. Right back.
Just a foot.
Murcia Airport, Spain. Somebody's watching in. London, Aberdeenshire. I should imagine there'll be quite a few Scottish people tuning in for this game. Battle of the Scots.
So a few viewers from Australia we can see. It must be in the middle of the night over there, Janice.
You dropped a foot, you get the shot.
Well, when Trenton played last night in that playoff, apparently it was 5:15, so I've been trying to work out since then what time it might be this morning. As I was saying earlier to Trenton, we should have one of those clocks on the wall that tells you what time it is in each of the capital cities to give us an idea when people do contact us.
Truly international. Well, welcome from wherever you are.
Well, that's the joy of this streaming now. We get viewers from all over. You get to watch all the bowls here. Every bowl played on the portable rink and in the WBT ranking events. Well, we might have a few watching in Australia then. I've just been told that in Perth it's 10 to 8 at night. In Brisbane it's 10 to 10.
Not as late as I thought.
Tokyo it's 10 to 9. Interesting. Calgary's the worst one on this list. I've been past there for 48, which is 10 to 5 in the morning. You never know. Early starters might be tuning in.
No, it's difficult, but there's just a road here to the ball, but 4 feet. I think so. Yeah. Weight's great.
I've had a question about the bowls that the players are playing with. Do they get given red and green bowls, or do they play with their own? Most of the top players have their own red and green bowls. And certainly the players out on the rink now are sponsored by manufacturers that supply them with bowls. World Bowls Tour do carry a pool of red and green bowls, because obviously the overseas, as Trenton mentioned earlier in commentary, they don't want to really be having to bring 2 sets of bowls over from Australia with them for the weight carriage on planes. So there is a pool. If you're top of the draw, you play in red with red bowls. If you're bottom of the draw, you play in green with green bowls. But I think most players now have their own red and green if you're playing at this level. Hope that answers your question. We've been red and green now for some years, haven't we, Alan? So most players have sort of organised themselves now.
Yes, and of course a lot of the top players, top 16 players, are sponsored, affiliated by some of the bowls manufacturers as well, so they do get provided their bowls. Some even get bowls custom made for them.
Why did you look at me like that when you said that? We've got Texas, changing the subject directly, we've got Texas tuning in. A nice mixture of people out there watching this game. Like I say, it's a repeat of the 2016 World Pairs final. Colin and Ronnie have had to qualify again though, as they were qualifiers. Didn't manage to qualify last year, but got through again this year. Just hung off.
2 shots, Duncan and Walker.
Set score 0-4 after 3 ends.
So Ronnie, Duncan, Colin, Walker establishing a lead in this set after 3 ends. 4-0 up.
It's one of those, Alan, where people sort of they expect the men in red at this stage of the pairs to dominate, but there's some really good quality qualifiers coming through. The boys from Cumbria that played in the previous game towards the end look to deserve really a tie break. Just dropped to 5 on the first end of the first set, and that made all the difference to that game.
And of course with this pairing, Janice, you know, whilst Colin and Ronnie are playing in green, they're hardly second fiddle. They are top international players. As we said earlier, Ronnie will be teaming up with Darren Burnett in Commonwealth Games on the Gold Coast in April. So world-class players all round here.
Colin got to the semi-finals here with the singles a number of years ago as well, so frequent qualifiers, so not strangers to the portable rink, and that can make a big difference. Often see first qualifiers come out and freeze a little bit. I was talking to the Welsh duo that played last night, and Liam Stone certainly said the first 3 ends he was just so nervous because it was his first time out on the portable rink.
It's a daunting experience out there, Janice. We've got something like 1,500 capacity crowd seats here, so it's a big arena, and it is quite daunting. One single rink. It's not something that majority of players are used to.
Yeah, I did mention this in commentary earlier, and you're the perfect person to put this to, Alan. We were saying it's not only just for the players out there, that the umpires, you know, you're walking out, you're receiving the crowd just like the players do to some extent, and you've got all those eyes watching you. So your first experience out on the portable rink, it must be a daunting one.
It is, and it's, you know, when new officials walk out there, it is a nerve-wracking experience. It takes a few years to get used to it. You have to kind of shut out the crowd and the goings-on around the surroundings and concentrate on the game in hand and what your role is. And yes, you're right, any little mistake or any slight discretion that we make, not that we make any very often, they are picked up very quickly. And of course with the TV cameras now and the live streaming, we often get questions from fellow umpires about what we're doing. This is slightly different to what we do at grassroots level as umpires. So it is often raising interesting questions amongst colleagues.
One right back.
Yeah, well, World Bowls Tour play under slightly different rules, some variances. One of the ones we did get asked yesterday about the pairs is that both of the skips have got to return to the mat at the same time and can only go up to the head after the second bowl's played unless they ask the marker. Whereas normally in a national you'd possibly stay at the head. to see the delivery of your opponent.
Your last ball's third shot. Weight's good, just past Jack high.
Yeah, Janice, and that's really to try and keep the pace of the game going, keep it flowing. In the game that I've just come off, the game this morning with Andy Thompson and Mark Royal, Andy did ask me if he could visit the head on the last end. It was a crucial moment, crucial shot needed to win the match or go into a tie-break. So it was sensible to allow him to come and have a look and have a chat with Mark.
Yeah, I think like you say, Alan, sometimes it's important, certainly when things have changed, to come and have a look. So if nothing's changed, there's no need for it. You're reliant on your pairs partner at the other end of the rink, but we are sensible about these things, and if it's a big change in an important point in time, not sure whether it's 1 or 2 red out there at the moment. Down there, the marker, just having a prowl to have a look for us, but won't want to interfere because obviously the players are in the head deciding the shot selection. Going for the draw. Down this forehand, it'll swing all the way back if it's a perfect weight. The rink's playing very swingy this year so far. That's made second if not got shot. Still 1 red. Nice viewing, watching today in the crowd. There's a lot of facilities here at Potter's Resort. Things you don't see on the TV, like segways, and there's another bowls arena here. Oh, great ball from Darren there. Stays upright.
Two shots, Anderson and Burnett.
Set score 2-4 after 4 innings. Done.
We have 3 match officials here at the moment. Alan joined us last night, joined Dan Blewett and Tony Hatch. Next week, middle of the week, I believe, Mike Davis joins us, and then Francis Fletcher's here for finals week. Very strong team of officials here. The boys put in some hours yesterday, I can tell you, Alan.
Yes, and I can only apologise for not being here earlier. Work commitments, unfortunately.
Tony Hatch has only got short legs as it is, and he was walking up and down for most of yesterday.
It was a late finish, I believe, last night as well. So
This morning, I think, is the word you're after for the commentary team here. By the time we've done all the post-evening work.
Come on, up. Feet up, right. Good effort.
So welcome to all of you on Facebook
5 inches short.
Live. There's a few of you watching that have not seen this sport before, which is great. Welcome. Few asking what the aim of the game is. I think in its simplest term, there's a small ball and a big ball, and you need to get the big ball next to a small ball. Clearly there's more to it than that, so you can see the players are rolling
Oh, there.
their biased bowls towards that small yellow jack. Closest player or closest team wins the shots. And in this format we're playing 7 ends,
Come on, mate. Just run.
2 sets with a 3
Flat
end
out.
tiebreak at the end.
Flat out, Ronnie. Flat out, son. Oh, great effort.
And you'll see that the bowls don't take a straight line. It's not like 10-pin bowling, although some players do play like that. The bowls do take a curve, and that's due to the shape of the bowl. It's not a round ball, it's slightly shaped. And you'll see as Stewart delivers his bowl, pushes it out. As we view it down the rink, you'll see that it's coming back towards the jack.
Run. Doesn't need much just to change the angles. Run. That's all right. Okay.
Still there, Ronnie. Just over in this, in there, you get into that split, it should shuffle into it.
Very tactical game as well. All about position of bowls, certainly for the lead players, to give your skips the opportunity to create something.
Come on.
Ronnie Duncan's on a great line again. There's 6 very good bowls there from the 2 leads.
Top class players here. Janice, you can see all of the leads bowls all within 2 feet or so of the jack. Very high quality play.
There's no direct route into the jack for either of the skips here.
1 red.
I think Colin's looking for a promotion bowl, whereas Darren's looking for a covering bowl, so to speak. Something just behind would suit Darren Burnett.
Come on, everything you've got here. Hurry. Hurry down. Up yet. Yes, mate. Wait, was it? Oh, okay.
What's for the second, mate? I think it's still there in the forehand. It's a bit quicker than me.
He's got to reach these, Alan. He's got to promote them, and it's not easy. Got to change something with this bowl.
Yes, as you said, there's no direct line to the jack here. It's trying to push his own bowls into the
Good though.
head.
I think he played that with the right sort of
He
weight,
did,
really, for the job.
He was unlucky with that. Just held off slightly.
Just be one. Play the green. Or you go here. Colin might go quicker now, so.
And all 4 of these players, like Stuart's just saying, Colin's likely to go quicker now with his next one. They'll know each other's games inside out. They'll play enough in Scottish nationals and international events where they play together.
Yes, and we may, because of that, we may see Darren here just try and play to the respot position.
A bit quick. Is going best back? Wow.
You're either playing the same shot, mate. I think the top side of that one's probably the best result. It's a bit quicker there, but you've got the danger of you lift mine, probably 2 down. You're probably maybe only going to leave 1 in the head. I would maybe stick with that forehand shot.
Yeah, he wasn't far out with his last one. It was only really a bowl high. Weight was good for the job. He doesn't like this. Is it going to move? Is it going to move?
Yes, mate.
Oh, got it. It's been unlucky though. It just sat back.
One red.
Great header bowls here.
Definitely the first one is good.
So just a bit of discussion between Stewart and Darren here. See if they can pick up any more shots from this.
I think they've had a really good look at the angles. I'm not sure whether the green bolt will go out. We've certainly had a long discussion over it.
Settling for the draw, I think. Try and beat those front bowls, get a
Done a very good
second
track.
shot.
I'm not sure about the angles now for Colin to. He might just opt for the backhand draw himself here, Alan. If he touches the jack, he gets 2 out of it. Nice view of our crowd there. Nice flowery top. Yeah, that's it. Wave at the crowd. Wave at us. Yeah, just seeing themselves on the big screen.
Fame at last.
See the pin, Darren?
Wind's good. Come on, mate. Right back. Right back.
I tell you what, he's
Right
very
back.
close here.
Right
What a
back.
ball from Colin there.
Fantastic delivery from Colin Walker there, Janice.
Set score to 5 after 5 ends.
Colin has been a Scottish international since 2003.
Jack length 29.5 metres.
It's a sawmill charge hand. Remember when my father used to be able to come to the events to watch. He's not too good at the moment, but he and Colin used to spend hours sitting talking about wood.
No.
Both timber merchants.
All right.
More you're running, pal. More you're running, Phil.
Two ends left to play. Duncan and Walker 5-2 up. Crucial end this really for both pairs. Anderson and Burnett need to be counting to get themselves back into the set. Duncan and Walker count at this end. Puts them firmly in the driving seat of this first set.
Run.
Yes, and of course, even though there's 6 shots available to each side,
Piece of it.
with players of this calibre playing against each other, it's very, very unusual
Oh, we're
to
pushing back the other side,
score a
Ronnie.
high count.
It's just short of Jack.
So they're really fighting for every single shot here, and as you said, Janice, Stewart and Darren really need to get another shot on the scoreboard, another couple maybe, put them in a shot with the final end.
It's a great track from Ronnie here. All on his pace.
Try and just give us a bit in behind, a wee bit of play behind the head, you know, not foot up toward your lap. Okay, fuck. It's good. It's good. Back.
That's the other thing about pairs, you've got your partner out there to support you. Singles can be a lonely game at times, especially on the portable rink. It's a bit like a cauldron out there. Centre stage, whereas when you're out there with your partner, you've got somebody to just support you.
Come on, mate. Come on, right up. Okay.
Colin gave a growl at that. He wasn't happy with it, but it's only finished a foot short.
Fancy running it, Yeah, you might peel away, it depends what angles you get it.
Trying to change something here. Wants the plant on the green bowl.
Very good, mate.
Get down, mate.
Dan clearing up all the debris there. Just wait to reset.
Two down, you can cross.
Same bowl as his last. Alan gets him shot.
Come on.
Your pace like Colin.
Go short, mate, one down.
I think he's just about made it. But
Yeah,
there's plenty of room.
I think Stewart just said one down there. Sometimes hard to tell from our camera angles. On a wide track here, it'll make it all the way back to centre if it's a decent length. And Colin might change hands here.
Your last
Often
one.
when you see a rest of a bowl, he's drawn well down the backhand, but there's the opportunity on the forehand as well now. Saying the players were saying that at the moment in the competition, Alan, all forehands are playing quite well. Very swingy.
Yes, and having stood out on the rink this morning, officiating, it does seem to be fairly consistent on both hands.
Land, mate.
All on his pace here.
Land.
Well, Colin,
Great effort. Great effort.
now opportunity for Darren to get two here. Just draw it. He was looking at the angles there. I think he was thinking about his red bowl takes green bowl out, but he's just drawn a very good shot down this backhand. Repeat delivery. Gets them back into the game in this first set, going into the final end.
Hurry. Hurry down.
Just lacking weight.
One shot, Anderson and Burnett.
Set score 3-5 after 6 innings.
Well, that helps, but I almost feel that was a bit of a missed opportunity, unfortunately, for Darren there. So 2 shots behind going into the final end of this first set.
With Darren asking for a change in length. Normally go tee to tee, these two players. It's just not suiting them in this game at the moment.
Jack length 27.5 metres.
Somebody's been asking about the cameras here. Well, the cameras while we're streaming are all HD cameras, top of the range jobs that are remote controlled by the production team. Trying to improve things at every venue. We have an extra camera here for the World Championships, an extra one from those we had in Perth. We've got a venue one.
Oh, begin. Right up.
Which certainly as the week goes on and we get to having a huge crowd in, we'll be able to pick up more of the atmosphere within the venue.
Good effort. Good effort.
Yeah, about 8 inches to come, Ronnie. Even if you're dropping into there, it's good. Just turn. Just get off of there.
Come on.
Weight's great.
Come the jack, make it 2.
No, Stewart's got the opportunity here, little touch on the jack. Another one in the area for Darren to use to create the 2 they need to tie the set, or 3 to win it. Close here, Stewart.
One down, mate. Do in there, beat your own one, Debbie Fear, touch the jack through.
Possibly makes it easier for Ronnie here. Alan, he can now just touch his own bowl or get back to the red bowl.
Give it time.
Close.
Quick as well.
Okay, that's fine now.
Oh, very unlucky not to just tip his own down. Gone to a good home though.
One right.
Okay.
Not wasted from Darren, and a good sighter for the shot he needs.
Forehand, mate. Yep, definitely.
He's done a good track, he's urging it on. I don't know whether it's making the trip.
Great effort, mate. No, it's
Well,
very
that's a
good,
good bowl though, it's another one in there.
Very good.
Still hold, but
Darren's got best back. I think he's asking.
you play the same way to get the white, get the ball full. Set.
Yes, Darren's got a couple of options here. To, you can either just play some weight to take one of the green bowls, or ideally take the jack. And if the jack goes back, right back, past where Stewart's standing, into the ditch at the end, it will remain there, and so will his bowl. And he could be holding 2 shots. So controlled weight here.
Very good track.
It's very close.
Quicker.
It was unfortunate to swipe it rather than take it clean.
Yeah, he needed a solid connection
One
really
there.
on it. It's not made it any easier for the red pairing of Anderson and Burnett to pick up the 2 they need.
That.
Running between them's good. Either side of Darren's, really.
And you want me to beat Darren's?
Yeah, I would go past to there.
I'll give you the peddling. Needs to run.
Needs to run was the call from the rink.
Okay.
This was released, we've been trying to revive it. Nothing else on. To the right 2 feet,
This is going to have to be a very, very accurate bowl to turn that jack to the red bowl to hold the 2. I don't think there's a place where he can get a 3. Jack in ditch possibly, but that still gives Colin Walker a lot of room to draw.
Hurry. Very good, Dan. Brilliant.
Well played. There you go, there's the 3.
Yes, as predicted, Janice, but plenty of room there for Colin.
That's all Darren can do though, he's holding the 3 to win the set. There's a lot of pressure on Colin Walker now. Got to draw second bowl. Plenty of room there, you'd normally expect Colin to do this, but it's under pressure. Track's good. Pace doesn't look so bad either.
Very good, mate.
In fact, he might have even drawn shot here. Just not.
One shot, Anderson and Burnett. First set, Duncan and Walker.
Dan. Ask the question again, boy.
So, first set goes to the unseeded players, but very well known players, Ronnie, Duncan and Colin Walker.
Jack length 29.5 metres.
Just a few leaving the crowd now, going to one of the 4 meals a day we get provided with here at Potter's. I know Dan Blewett, who's the marker on the rink today, told me that he normally brings 2 sets of black trousers with him for the 2 different weeks of the tournament. We get breakfast, lunch, dinner tonight. It's a gala dinner as well, isn't it, Alan?
You're right.
And even if that's not enough, there's a midnight supper. They do look after as well here.
Yes, there's a lot of people out there saying that us officials don't need to eat. Certainly 4 meals a day anyway. But yes, looking forward to the gala dinner tonight and the awards night. A nice dinner provided by Potter's Leisure Resort here. And of course for us, a nice glass of water.
I don't know why I just heard the production team behind me have a little bit of a laugh then when we said water. And I know they're not referring to us, they're probably referring to themselves.
Hey, Ronnie. Going down. Well done.
Part of the reason why we don't start till 2 o'clock tomorrow.
Are you implying the streaming guys need a little bit longer to recover than the rest of us?
I believe that mainly comes from the players' request. So I've booked an early morning practice tomorrow, Alan. Somebody did ask in the chat about drinking when they're playing. We do always recommend that players take on water. It's very, very warm in the arena. You'll even see the markers have bottles of water down the sides of the rink. It's quite hot. A lot of the players have coaches that have recommended what sort of things they take on board to help them during a game, but we do recommend that they do take water on board. Under the line from Stewart, they might have got a result out of it. So that shot again, he gets the green ball, which tips his red ball into the head. A little apology there from Darren. It was the result he wanted, but not necessarily off that bowl. So I'm looking forward to the dinner tonight. My dinner was kind of on the hop last night, taken in the commentary box, so Tonight it's be a bit more of a relaxing evening
Quite
for
good.
all involved.
Big effort, Colin. Right up, though.
It'll be interesting to see who
Good
some of
try.
the awards go to. You sit here and have guesses. There's Player of the Year, Players Player of the Year, Overseas Qualifier, European Qualifier. There's all sorts of different awards tonight. We've all got our own ideas on who should
Everything you've got now.
be presented with various different awards. Performance of the Year, that could be an interesting one tonight.
Yeah, kid.
There is a shot to run it away, but just looking at, you want to get that solid and just run through yourself. You'd be 2 down. I didn't think you were that far away there, and you've also got a chance if you land Darren's last ball. You know, you're going to be close.
You'll get news on the World Bowls Tour website of who's won what awards, and that's based on the last year, so that's based on up to and including the International Open at Blackpool in March.
Runs away on your free down. No, it's
I wonder if there's an award for breaking equipment in the streaming room, Alan. We might be able to share that one.
There must be one for the best commentator, Janice.
Do you think so? Well, Colin's looking at this. There's a angle on the green bowls. There is an angle on the green bowls there that might take the red bowl out. Also, there's just the tuck there. He's got to make the decision himself. He looked at the angle, but I think Ronnie was asking him to play the tuck bowl. Bit of danger on that angle, Alan. It might flick it out to the other red bowls. He's playing it. Certainly watching it.
Clean, clean. Well
Superb drive there from Colin Walker.
Quite close in the ditch there. Of course, the green ball touched the jack on its course, so that remains live now, even though it's in the ditch, doesn't it, Alan?
That's correct, and you would have seen Dan Blue at the marker there just spray a little bit of chalk on that bowl to indicate that it's still live. If it hadn't have touched the jack, it would have been removed from the ditch and played no further part in the end. So Darren's bowl now must finish on the rink, it can't go in the ditch. So as close to the edge as he can.
Shot, Duncan Walker.
CY Young is in the auditorium. He's heading the table in the overseas singles playoff qualifiers. So just taking the opportunity, his day off today, so just watching what's going on. He plays on the portable rink tomorrow night at 7:30.
jack length, 29.5 metres.
CY's been playing all his games out on the other arena here at Potters, the Bowler's Bar.
Start, Ronnie.
His final game in the round robins, he plays Moti Polak tomorrow night here on the portable. Watched a few of the overseas this year. There's been a really high standard, certainly in the singles, and some of the pairs games have been really, really good.
response, pal.
Talking to Trenton earlier today about the quality and how many games they have to play to qualify.
Still there, mate. Just short.
And the big prize is to get out there on the portable rink.
And of course the likes of Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, Canada, very strong bowling nations in their own right.
Aye, again, Ronnie.
Very strong representation at both world and Commonwealth level.
Good, bro. Well done. Good effort.
2-inch
Of
gap.
course we're expecting big things from the Australian squad this year on their home turf in Gold Coast for the Commonwealth Games. But I have to say, the home countries are sending out some pretty impressive squads. So I think we should expect some medals from the home countries as well.
Good.
Can't hold it much, Ronnie. Just same sort of effort. Maybe just drop that.
Of course this is a totally different atmosphere for some of those players. Indoor carpet for a start, but it's quite a unique rink.
Should be.
Of course some of these countries don't have indoor bowling arenas. Talking to some of the Canadian qualifiers in past years, they have to travel hundreds of miles to get to their nearest indoor facility, and some of them don't even have one in their nearest province, so it's very difficult for them to get practice on this sort of surface, and they come over here and play on the rinks out on the rest of the resort.
This is good.
You really have to practice hard to compete with the top players here.
I was talking to the Israeli qualifiers in the pairs the other day, and they were saying that at home the rinks they play on are running at 9 seconds. And that's a time that's given for the length it takes a bowl to finish on a rink. To give viewers an idea, something like the bowlers' bar rinks are running about 15 seconds, which means it's 5 seconds, 6 seconds quicker than what they play on outdoors in Israel. And the portable rink, we were told by the company that put it down, is running about 17 and a half seconds. So a lot quicker surface. They put in a lot of hours though, Alan. They played virtually all day the day before they were due to be playing in qualifiers, to just try and get the pace right, really.
Run. Run. Up yet, down. Up yet.
Still a few options running at that now, mate. Up the gap, you've got a chance of the jack. That plant's possibly lifting the two of them.
Yeah,
Positive
chance
ball,
for
I
the
think we'll
jack
see
leg
from
on.
Colin here.
Yeah, that play good strong running in there.
Close to something. It's very, very unlucky. He was in the target area.
Thank you, mate.
I wonder if it make it easier for them.
Yeah,
Think the other side.
I think so, mate. Any small touch of light you make for.
I think we have to give a shout out to probably our furthest viewer from the Cook Islands.
Push ball.
Welcome. Nice tropical island, and you play this sport on grass.
Easy.
So they'll have fairly heavy rinks out there in the Cook Islands, I would think.
It'd be interesting to hear what your rinks are like, if you wanted to comment back.
Trying to just keep the grass going out there will be interesting. A little bit more tropical than over here. Mind you, it was a nice day when I walked in at 8:30 this morning. It was quite sunny outside.
Probably a little bit colder than Cook Islands, though, on the north coast.
Just a little bit.
Yes.
I was foolish enough to walk down to the coast the other day, but I seem to not remember it being as cold as this last year. It was a bit cool. Big opportunity here for Darren to pick up a count at this second end. Second set. We were just talking about big counts are hard to come by at this level.
Yeah, you're not bad here. Go on. Right up now. Up now, Dan. Up there. Very good, Paul.
4 shots, Anderson and Burnett.
Set score 4-1 after 2 innings.
Well, that's a big count of 4. Second end, second set. Still a chance though. Still got 5 ends to play. Don't forget, if you have any umpiring questions that you would like to put to Alan, do let us know. If you think of any really, really complicated ones, I believe Dan Blewett's joining me for the game after lunch, so we can put the complicated ones to Dan.
That's right, keep it simple for me.
That's a decent start, pal. Not be far off it.
Settle in. Off feet.
We've had a question in, Alan, for you. Can you define the term skip and lead and what their roles are?
Yes, interesting question. We've got 4 players out on the rig here. Stewart, who's just bowled, is termed a lead. He plays first. He plays all his bowls first. He's also responsible for delivering the jack. In a bigger team game, we would also have seconds and thirds playing. So 4 players in a side, we'd have a second player, and then a third player, and then finally the skip. And the skip is really in charge of the team itself. Play their bowls last, play the big shots, get all the glory. But no, they all have very defined roles. The skip is really in charge. The lead is really a crucial role for the lead. Defines the length of the end by placing the jack, and also tries to get as close as possible to that jack to set that head up for a good count, or at least to win the end.
Drawn into the area again, Ronnie. Sitting out, it's good. Yep. Being in there, it's good.
Oh yeah, having a good lead is crucial in any pairs game. They are the ones that set the way that the head builds up. It's the skip that calls those shots though. He sort of is the one that determines where he wants the bowls to be played, if it's possible to play them there. Ronnie's just pulled up a little bit short there from what his skip had requested.
Of course, with players of this calibre, it's very much a partnership. It's you know, they're all capable of playing in either position. It's very much the tactical side of this is very much a discussion between the 2 players. They'll all have their own opinions about what's the best shot to play. They know each other's games inside out. They play with each other on the international circuit so many times that they know each other's games.
Just the ball. Very good.
So
Great ball there from Darren.
That's a great example of a skip's role.
Similar to Darren, mate.
Play the big
Jack, you
shots.
make 2.
And all 4 of these players play singles to a very high level as well, so
Just to be the phone, mate.
you do get people that are just pure leads.
Yeah, this area. Yeah, well, if you've got a shot to that's great. Sure. But if you're not, a wee shade pie is good.
We've had a question come in on Facebook Live. Do the players start at a young age? Well, this really is a sport for all. It's one of those sports that any age can play, and there are children out there 5 years and above playing this game.
No, I don't think so.
And you can play right into your 90s.
No, I think it's just
It
out.
really is a sport for all. And of course, also we have the
Not the same
disability
shot,
goals
you've got the runner doing the
play a
forehand
big
that
part at
protects our ball.
grassroots
Lead
level,
back.
but also international level.
The three of them will
And
go
I know,
if you
Janice,
get
you
that.
were
You
involved
get
in the
this
Special
one,
Olympics
Darren's last ball, either that's the same shot
last
the
year.
backhand. Playing the same shot,
It's
2 feet off.
players with learning
I think
difficulties.
it's worth it, yeah.
So it is a sport for all. I mean, it's quite a simple game. You just have to get your bowlers closer to the jack than your opponent to score. He's close here. He's very close. Oh, he's only got one away. Yeah, it's a true sport for all. I remember somebody saying at the Commonwealth Games in Scotland, I was talking to Ron MacArthur, who's heavily into the disability side of Bowl Scotland, about the difference in ages between the oldest medal winner and the youngest medal winner, and I think that came out in the bowls tournaments there. It'll be interesting to see if the same thing happens in the Gold Coast, what the age range is between a sport and the youngest winner and the oldest winner of a medal.
And the bowls that you can see them playing with come in varying sizes. You can get very small sets of bowls for children. So it allows them to play the sport on a level playing field almost. You know, they could play with any age. Certainly in England and the home countries here, we see a lot of the team games in clubs where junior players are playing with senior players at all levels.
It's nice to see the children involved as well. Lots of people come into the sport that have played other sports as well. People that have finished perhaps playing football or cricket and still want to be competitive. Start at any age. Just find your local club. And of course, if you want to have a go out there on the portable rink, you just contact your local PBA. That's Professional Bowls Association. Pay your membership, join the qualifiers, and you could be out there playing against some of the top players in the world. Played the timer.
Back. Okay.
One shot, Anderson and Burnett.
Set score 5-1 after 3 innings. Jack length 29.5 metres.
Foul.
Ronnie and Colin really need to count at this end to stop the rot, so to speak.
Great adjustment. Very good.
Go there, Ronnie. Come on.
Done a good
Just run.
trick here.
Just run
He's
now.
making the trip.
Good play. Okay, 4.
Yes. No, you throw a foot behind it's really good. Okay, that's all right. Keeps.
Going for about 18 inches, Ronnie. Get to the ball, just a wee crunch in the jack back. He's a good first ball. Yes, what? Fine. Fine, yeah.
Well, it's another receiver for Colin there. Just overplayed it, but he didn't want to be short.
Hurry. Run. Run. What? 2 feet.
Oh, a regular question that we have in there, Alan, just come through for you. What is the purpose of the spray that the official places on the ball?
You've got dead draw around there, mate. Or you can
Yes,
try
Janice,
them.
that's
Try and
to
maybe attack
indicate that
into
that
the
bowl
first one.
on its original course
Yeah.
up the green
Let's
has
probably take a
touched
chance
the
and
jack.
Try and move that
So
last
that bowl
ball.
is now called live. If that finds its way into the ditch at the end of the rink, it remains in play. Any of the other bowls you see there without chalk on, if they go into the ditch, then they get removed.
Got the absolute ultimate result out of that. Little apology hand there from, well, there we go, that's one of our younger viewers. Oh, he's seen himself on the screen. I know there was a couple of youngsters in earlier as well to watch Andy Thompson. He'd been at a local club coaching some juniors last night, and they'd come in specially to watch him this morning. A selfie was being taken at the time, I noticed, from the 2 kids and Andy.
Find a yard.
Can't stay with us. Don't forget we start again at 2 o'clock this afternoon in an hour's time with the defending champions. Jason Greenslade and Les Gillett, and they take on Robert Paxton and Jonathan Ross. And we have another game after that as well. We've got loads of bowls for you today here at the Just World Indoor Bowls Championships. And then after that we all get to put on the posh frocks and go to the awards.
Oh, forehand draw, mate. Darren will go to get back to topple mine down. I'd stick to the forehand.
There you go, that's a picture of C.Y. Young. He's placed very well at the top of the table of the overseas singles playoff at the moment. He has his final game on the portable rink here tomorrow night. I believe he only has to win 1 set to actually take him into the main championships, where I think he faces Mark Dawes. Been playing exceptionally well. I've watched a couple of his games from Hong Kong. I'm reliably informed he's one of their top players. It's his first time here, but I believe he's well known over in Hong Kong. He's certainly been making his mark over here. He's taken some scalps of some top players. Well, this could make a big difference here. Holding 3, green.
Try and just, and then slightly wider line. Try and get back to the limit.
Yes, that we're putting back into this second set. Duncan and Walker already one set up.
Big chance. To get back the 4 they dropped. Doesn't want to do any damage. Nice high line.
Three shots, Duncan and Walker.
So the halfway point in the second set.
Set score.
Just one shot
5-4
behind.
After 4 innings.
Do you want Colin?
I'll go back to see when you play, Ronnie.
And welcome watching on Facebook Live, in particular from Germany. Can we play this game somewhere in Germany? Yes, you can. There is a German association for bowls. They competed at the European Championships last September in Jersey.
Meters, 29.
So have a look on Google, see if you can find the German association on the web. See if you can find where the nearest club is.
Come on. Come on, run. Run. Well done.
Yes, it's always worth Googling bowls or indoor bowls, lawn bowls, finding out where your local venue is.
15 inches, Ronnie.
It is played all over the world. It's a Commonwealth sport, as we've mentioned.
Come on. Come on, mate. Run.
Going up again.
And it's certainly becoming more popular in European countries now, Janice, as well, where traditionally sports like pétanque and bocce ball, boule have sort of dominated. We now have teams in France, we have teams from Germany, Scandinavia. Netherlands is a strong bowling nation. Have competed for a number of years at European level. So it's becoming more and more popular in non-Commonwealth countries.
Probably better. You touch it. If you get caught in your rain, then you'll push it in.
Well, if he's making the trip, he's a great track. I think he's short again.
Chance for getting first here.
Right, mate.
Foot shot. Beat your own.
Well, that is the good lady wife of one of our match officials, Jill Hatch, Tony Hatch's wife. She will not have been expecting to be full screen on the main screen there, Alan.
One green.
Good supporter of bowls, loves watching bowls.
Looks fairly relaxed there, Janice.
Yes, perhaps she's had a nice walk out and a bit of fresh air.
May have been to the spa as well.
Yeah, there was talk of there's a jacuzzi and swimming pool. There's all sorts of facilities here on site.
Next time.
Chance, pal. You got it.
Well, no real bowls claimed this end yet. I'm sure Darren, our policeman from Arbroath, will want to make a difference with this bowl.
One no.
Is it reaching?
Up. 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 Good touch. You got a touch, but not enough.
Not enough of a touch, I don't think. I still think it's on green.
Come on, right back. Come on, very good here. Right back though.
Oh, good ball from Colin there. There's a little bit of a catch for Darren there.
Yep. You get that one yet? Straight on the jump. Straight on the jump.
Well, Darren's looking at the plant here.
Yes.
It's a difficult plant. Played a green bowl onto the two reds. The reds will go onto the jack. Jack will go through to the two reds behind. Two reds behind, sorry. Difficult shot. Or he can just opt for the draw. On the other hand, rest the last bowl.
Darren likes his runners. Watching it. What result can he get off that green bowl?
You kill one.
It's not made it any worse.
Potentially give him some options for the next bowl.
One green.
Just shows when the players are talking out there, Alan, how tactical this pairs game is. You're not just looking at the fact that you're holding shot, but you're trying to cover the shot that your opponent might play.
No.
Yeah, Colin and Ronnie thinking about what Darren's going to do with his final delivery. Trying to cover that eventuality. They're holding one shot at the moment.
Not happy with that, Colin.
Good choice, pal. Good choice.
Put a couple of options down here. And there is the nice, neat draw to there. I know Darren likes his runners, and he was just having a look which was third bowl. I think he's thinking if he plays quite swiftly down there, he might get some sort of connection.
What you could get three, you see that.
That's the difference between players out there as well, Alan. Some people would bet their life on a draw shot. Darren does like his little runners. Whatever your skip's confident in playing.
Drop.
Very unlucky. Very unlucky.
One shot, Duncan and Walker.
Set score 5-5 after 5 innings.
Well, all square in this second set. Don't forget, Ronnie, Duncan and Colin Walker won the first set. Here we see Darren's bowl again. Just held off.
Jack length 29.5 metres.
Always on paper this was going to be one of the cracking games of the
Run, run.
first round of the pairs here.
Out. Run, run.
Right, go there.
It's up to you. You only stick with it and just drift round it. It's there on both, Ronnie. Play it if you want. It's
Hold the back.
foot down.
Yeah, like that.
No, he didn't like that at all. That's the thing with the top players. You normally know when they've
Right.
released the bowl, if they like it or not. Not the end to have a loose end, Ronnie.
Chirp chin. Chirp chin. Very good here. Very good.
Great balls there from Stewart Anderson.
Keep going. Not liking that line.
Now, Ronnie, have you reached with this one? That's probably the worst end that Ronnie's played. Can he get a little edge off that? Nope.
Out. Away. Again. Settle in. Settle this time. Settle this time. Very good.
Alright.
Free bet.
Draw my first in.
Hey.
Draw my first in.
Aye.
Colin's got to change something. Doesn't want to drop a 3. And with only one end left to play. 3 bowls to do it with though. Still the draw on. He's drawn some superb bowls so far in this game. He's on that wide line. And what's his weight like?
Right, go. Great try. Just through. Foot through.
It's might still be the 3. Probably. Very good.
Score. It does give Colin something to
Attack
rest
that
on
mate.
now.
Front red.
Mine best back, Ronnie.
Yeah, yours is best back.
They don't hang about, these Scottish lads. Change something. Doesn't like it.
Okay.
Got that spot.
Got that one.
Yes, and you've obviously got that, but I would keep as you want.
Well,
Just in case it goes
doesn't
right
change anything with his last ball. We're looking at a tie break, I think. Hard ass to pick up a 4.
Oh, it's pretty deep.
Oh,
back.
Darren.
Yep.
Oh, just hung on. You could tell that a little bit cheeky smile up to the commentary box there from Darren Burnett. He'd know we'd be saying, is it going to hang on there? Well, Colin, big bowl this. Great track.
Quick, Ronnie.
He's too quick. He's called it that he's too quick. 4 red at the moment. It's just a question of which is the hand that's safest to draw on. All that hard work by Duncan and Walker to get themselves back in this second set. It's just been zapped in one end by Stewart Anderson and Darren Burnett.
Go on. You just miss your weight now. Get up. Get up. Get up. Get up.
Yeah, done it.
5 shots. Anderson and Burnett.
Set score 10-5.
So we were talking earlier, Janice, about how unusual big scores are in games where you've got this calibre of player and all of a sudden they come out of the blue, and often at the wrong time. And I think certainly for Ronnie and Colin here, that really was the wrong time to lose a count. They struggled to get back into this set, and now they're looking down the face of a tie-break.
Yeah, they've. Oh, just seen Stewart. That's the first jack that's been delivered off the rink in the portable rink so far. That prize goes to Stewart Anderson.
Will you get an award tonight for that?
I don't know. It's not on my list of the ones that I've guessed about.
First jack in the ditch of the tournament award.
I think it's better being near the tee than draw a shot.
Yep.
So yeah, Stewart delivered the jack. It went into the ditch at the end of the rink. It gets re-delivered by his opponent, in this case Ronnie. But Stewart will still deliver the first bowl.
Jack length 27 metres.
Ease up a touch. Ease up a touch. Good start, pal. Good start.
Not a bad opener. When you're looking at anything under 5 shots against is good for you, and that's a good ball from Stewart. Oh dear. That was not the bowl that Ronnie Duncan wanted. I think we might be looking at a tie break. If I was a betting person.
Yes, Duncan and Walker require a 5 here to tie this set, which would then win the match, having won the first set. But with the bowl, or what's that, metre and a half short, it's going to be a real struggle. Better response here from Ronnie on his second bowl. But I think you're right. If we were betting people, we would go for a tie-break.
Drop it in, mate.
We've had a few of those already. Very exciting tie breaks.
Not bad. Yep. Yeah, well done.
Two green.
Big effort, Dan.
Well, there's a nice rest there for Darren Burnett.
Very good.
Done the job.
There on the other side, mate. touch of the jack. Back to the green ones.
Oh dear, that has
Okay.
just made the situation virtually impossible. Now I think it's just a question of just drawing bowls in, Alan, and getting your weight ready for the tie break for Colin Walker.
Yes, that's right. I think he's written the set off with this with that last bowl. Now he needed all three of his to count, of course, plus the two of Ronnie's.
Just a draw, mate.
Yep.
Practice for the tie break now, I think.
Yeah, his partner's just called the draw, so
Yep.
Couple of feet.
yeah, Colin not trying anything with too much conviction here, just trying to get his pace back.
Hang on.
Touch on the jacks, good. Yeah, that'll give him a bit of confidence back.
2 shots, Duncan Walker, 2nd set, Anderson Burnett. Match tie break.
Heads, please. Go that way, Colin.
Aye.
Plenty on the toss. Let's give the jab to Stewart in the first set.
Of course, the rules change slightly here, folks. We're playing 3-end tie break. How many shots they score doesn't matter. It's whoever wins 2 ends. If we get to the 3rd end of the tie break, it means that both teams have won 1 end each, and then there's another set of rules that I'll pass over to Alan if we get to the 3rd end.
Save those if we get there.
Yes. Played slightly differently, tie break ends tend to be played that little bit more aggressively. It doesn't matter if you do drop a 6. It's only 1 end you've lost, so all to do with just winning the end.
Run, pal.
One pal.
A chance for Ronnie here. That's dropped a couple of foot short.
Come on, back over here.
Can make it all
Great
the way
mate,
back
Ronnie.
if it's a length.
Magic
That's a
mate.
good start.
Weight's great, Ronnie.
Chance again for Ronnie to make this better.
You're a better line. Wait.
Good ball here.
Well done. Put it on if you want. Try it. Try and put it on if you like.
I think we're talking about Jack in ditch here, Alan.
Well, as you said at the start of this end, tie breaks tend to be more aggressive. It's not very often we see a lead player driving at the jack, but it's a good tactic in this sort of
Just missed it.
very close there. It's a good tactic in this sort of one-shot count end. If you can nail that jack in the ditch, it's all over.
Ronnie will want to be close to cover that. At the moment it's still set up as a target. It's tightened it slightly, but I think Darren will still fancy that sort of a shot. They just played to try and draw it away. Now Colin needs to tuck this jack away.
Mate. Actually tempted to draw on the backhand, mate. Maybe leave that gap. Are you fancying beating it in?
No.
No, that's...
I dare what's sitting next to it in that side anyway.
No, sit high. Just gives Darren a few more connections, really.
No.
This is okay.
Back in.
Okay.
It's a back
Good
ball,
quick
it
ball.
stayed
Full
on,
feet,
it's
you try that.
overplayed from what he wanted, but it's not in a bad
Yeah.
home there.
Full
Not in a
feet
bad home at all.
Go on.
Trotting up after this, likes it.
Run.
It's a great line.
Run down. Hurry.
Great line,
Yeah,
very
up there.
close.
Very good.
Oh, it stayed stood up.
I'm down, mate.
Seen a lot of
Right, yeah.
bowls like that
Yeah.
over the last 2 days. Alan, bowls are standing up and not sitting down.
Yeah, sometimes happens. Depends on the underlay of the carpet. They do look a bit precarious sometimes, and there's grips around the edge of the bowl, and often they just sit in those grips.
Great effort.
Oh, great effort from Colin there. So currently it's 1 shot to red. It's one of those now that Darren doesn't want to set up at the target. Let Colin have to play it. He was very close with his last bowl though, Colin.
Yeah, I think so.
Again, it's broken out.
Well, you could topple it back down, that's right, yeah. On it.
I think he thinks he's quick.
Sorry, mate.
Okay.
First end to the red duo. So,
Off again, Colin.
having been fairly in
Well, I've got the
control
yards
of the
again.
game most of the way through, the green pairing of Ronnie Duncan and Colin Walker have to win this end to take us into a third end of the tie break. It's a second delivered jack off the rink. It's all happening, Alan.
Must be catching.
Jack length, 29.5 metres.
Crucial that Ronnie puts a couple of his bowls close here for Colin. It's a good track.
Run, Ronnie. Great start, pal.
That's more like it from Ronnie Duncan.
That's as good a start in this end as you can hope for from a lead.
Yep, you're 4 inches, mate. Just dropping any 2 feet, but aye.
You're going that side, is it?
Probably will, Ronnie. It all depends where he gets it. That's not a great in for him.
No.
Front. I'd put 2 feet in your last.
Yeah, just looking for something behind here. I say the great part about this pairs is you do hear from the players what they're thinking and why they're thinking it.
It's fine, it's fine.
I think Stewart will just be looking to draw this though.
4 inches
The
round
room.
the jack. Even if you sit alongside it, give us a bit of play. We'll give you the line back. We'll give you your line back, Stewart. Run.
Oh, I was there.
Yeah. Foot.
Aye, draw him,
Tense
mate.
times out there on the portable rink. Ronnie, you don't want to set up a target here.
Yeah, you're fine,
Anything
mate,
just
go on.
behind.
Well done.
That's good again.
Just got to find the foot, pal. Front ones have made it hard. It's just a draw. Down the track again. Down the track again.
He's further.
Give way for-
Darren will be
Yeah,
quite happy if he's that bit further. There's something to use.
One break.
Now, Colin, do you leave it alone? He doesn't want to set anything up jack high. Yes, that'll be like a red rag to the man in red, Darren Burnett.
Stop, mate.
No change.
Okay. You're through.
Darren just opting to try the draw. There's not really any sort of a target on. No, just try and just draw it. Just to be lacking weight.
Take the line to it.
Perfect line.
Me yard.
1 yard, mate. Yeah. Settle a touch. Settle a touch.
Colin.
Okay. Touch up.
1 yard.
Not sure if there's any angles on there for Darren to remove the green bowl.
No, I think his only option really is to draw. It's not easy to get at.
He's taking his time. No shot clock, so plenty of time to take. Well, if he's making the trip, he's on a very good line. Just not made the trip. Oh, this isn't easy for Colin. It's almost like you want to go for the, I'm not going to put anything near, make him play it. Because I don't think Darren's going to try and chip this out. I think he's just going to try and draw it.
Yeah, and Colin's got to be careful not to leave any target or any shoulders anywhere near the jack that Darren can use. Well, he's not far away.
Oh, he didn't want to chip that jack out.
Yeah, I would be playing that. I would be playing that.
I just don't know whether anything into that's going to... Looks more like the two red balls have just split. That's more what he needs, but it's getting to it. And, Stewart just saying to Darren, your call.
Yeah. Just hope your ball stays.
Well, Darren's got to feel comfortable playing the shot. I feel he may well attempt that 3-ball plant there. It's a difficult shot.
He's in the area. The outside ball he needs.
Oh.
It's still on green because the ball that's gone in the ditch of Darren's was not a toucher, so...
That's removed.
Oh, so we've come to the third end of the tie-break, Alan. It's your turn to explain to the viewers why this end differs.
Well, it differs slightly. It's still whoever wins the end wins the match, basically. But they have a couple of more options in this end. With any of their bowls, they can nominate to kill the end. So all throughout this game, we haven't had any killed ends, which are replayed. The jack, if it's gone outside the boundaries, has always been placed on the respots. In this end, they can nominate to kill the end. And if they do, it will be replayed. But each team can only replay the end once.
Run. Run, Stewart.
So there's another little tactical option here. This end.
Run.
Pad opener. Just
Put
a
it down
foot
there.
short. Ronnie's down a very good track here. Just overplayed it, but it's a saver, as they'd say.
Hurry, pal. Hurry, hurry. Hurry, hurry.
Still there, pal.
Well, Stewart's done similar to he did at the last end, whereas he's put two short bowls in. So if Ronnie can do like he did at the last end and took one in in front of those, next to the jack, makes Darren Burnett's life a little harder. He's urging this on, Ronnie. What's your pace like? Line looks very good. Colin's urging it on. Just short.
Pick a hand and beat him in. You're now about 9 inches short.
You kind of get the feeling that the first person into this is going to create a lot of problems for their opposition. Opportunity missed. A wee blade of height was called for by Skip.
He's given it the height.
Colin's certainly watching this. Big effort here from Ronnie Duncan.
Yep.
Oh, very good if it drops.
Yeah,
it's a shot ball.
Well, the end of this end will know who's to face David Gawley and Mervyn King tomorrow afternoon. Sorry, that's incorrect. I'll just correct myself. It's been a long day already. It's who meets Greg Harlow and Nicky Bratt. Must wear my glasses more often, Alan.
We're running the pile. Too many there.
Beat that in on the forehand, mate. Well, good one.
So as with the previous end, those short bowls are causing Darren some issues now that the green bowl is shot. There's another one added in there, and that's finished in a lovely position. That locks that shot bowl in. So Darren in all sorts of trouble now.
Almost think he might just try to open all this up, but he could just get wrecked on the front bowls. There is still the draw off the forehand. Down a very good track down this backhand. Watch your weight, Mike Darren. Just overplayed it.
Is there anything on it?
Oh, the outside red one on the closest red. Eh? Got a spot here. Even with the front green one, you've got that spot. I think even if Darren draws off the back balls, I don't think he'll get a shot there. I think it would have to be a dead draw.
See the players there getting ready for the next game. Up in 25 minutes. Jason Greenslade, Les Gillett, defending champions, versus Rob Paxson and John Ross.
Come on, it's your call. I'm not letting it come up.
Oh, that's passing the buck, Colin. You could ask to go up.
I'm sure Dan Blewett would allow him to have a quick look.
Yeah.
I think that's why Colin said it with a smile on his face. I think he kind of didn't want to go up and have a look. Leave it to Ronnie. Experienced enough. I mean, they've played together for years, so it's a fair shout. He's followed it up now. Darren's got one bullet left. Going to be a hit and hope, possibly, Alan? Try and just shake things about a bit.
Difficult to see what other option there is apart from an absolute dead draw. And that will be a big bowl to pull out. Last bowl of a tiebreak end. Third end of tiebreak.
Well, here we go. And two guys there, Ronnie, Duncan, Colin Walker, holding game. Do they get to play Greg Harlow and Nick Brett tomorrow afternoon? Or can this man change something with this bowl? He's chasing after it, which normally means Darren likes it. Cracking track. Absolutely brilliant track here. Very close. Wow. Absolutely brilliant. We've seen some amazing bowls. The last bowl of the last game against the two Cumbrian lads from Andy Thompson was a superb bowl. That was a wow moment.
Well, that's why he's one of Scotland's best.
Backed himself to draw it. Now, it's up to Colin to change something with this bowl. Hit and hope. Be on target to give some sort of chance. Missed it. Anderson and Burnett win. Go through to play Greg Harlow and Nick Brett tomorrow. Thanks for your company, Alan.
Thank you, Janice.
Join us again in 20 minutes for the defending champions.
Well, how about that, ladies?